Welcome to Hollywood Star Celebrity. In today's video, we're taking a trip back to the battlefield of Platoon, 1986, one of the greatest war films ever made. Ever wondered what the cast looks like now in 2025? Stick around to find out. Keith David, King. Back in 1986, Keith David brought charisma and grit to the role of King in Platoon, standing out with his commanding presence and smooth delivery. At the time, he was 30 years old, already showcasing the talent that would make him a Hollywood staple. Fast forward to 2025, and Keith David, now 68, remains a powerhouse in film and TV, lending his deep, unmistakable voice to countless roles. From war zones to sci-fi epics, his career has been nothing short of legendary. Tom Berenger, Sergeant Barnes. Tom Berenger, born Thomas Michael Moore on May 31, 1949, in Chicago, Illinois, was 37 years old when he delivered his chilling performance as the battle-hardened and ruthless Sergeant Barnes in Platoon, 1986. Standing at 5'11", Berenger embodied the hardened warrior, his scarred face and piercing stare etching an unforgettable image of war's toll. Now, in 2025, at 75 years old, he remains a revered figure in cinema, his legacy cemented by roles that define grit and intensity on screen. Forrest Whitaker, Big Harold. Forrest Whitaker, born Forrest Stephen Whitaker on July 15, 1961, in Longview, Texas, was 25 years old when he portrayed Big Harold in Platoon, 1986. At 6'2", his presence stood out, not just in stature but in the quiet, weary humanity he brought to the role, a soldier trying to survive the chaos around him. Now, in 2025, at 63 years old, Whitaker remains a powerhouse in Hollywood, his career marked by deep, soulful performances that transcend time. Willem Dafoe, Sgt.Elias. Willem Dafoe, born William J. Dafoe on July 22, 1955, in Appleton, Wisconsin, was 31 years old when he gave life to Sgt.Elias in Platoon, 1986. At 5'7", his stature was overshadowed by the sheer depth of his performance. Elias was the film's moral compass, a soldier clinging to humanity in the middle of hell. His haunting death scene remains one of cinema's most iconic moments. Now, in 2025, at 69 years old, Dafoe continues to push boundaries. His face is unforgettable as the roles he brings to life. Francesco Quinn, Rhah. Francesco Quinn, born Francesco Daniele Quinn on March 22, 1963, in Rome, Italy, was just 23 years old when he played Rhah in Platoon, 1986. At 5'10", he carried a quiet intensity, portraying the battle-worn soldier with a mix of wisdom and survival instinct. The son of legendary actor Anthony Quinn, he had the talent and presence to carve his own path. Sadly, his journey was cut short by a heart attack in 2011 at the age of 48. Now, in 2025, he would have been 62, a reminder of a life and career that ended too soon. Charlie Sheen, Chris. In Platoon, 1986, Charlie Sheen, born Carlos Erwin Estevez on September 3, 1965, in New York City, delivered a gripping performance as Chris Taylor, a young soldier navigating the brutal realities of the Vietnam War. At just 21 years old during filming, Sheen's raw intensity and internal conflict mirrored the film's harrowing descent into the chaos of war. Now, in 2025, at 59 years old, his legacy in the role remains a defining moment in war cinema, capturing the innocence lost and the moral dilemmas of battle with a haunting authenticity. Kevin Dillon, Bunny. In Platoon, 1986, Kevin Dillon brought chilling intensity to the role of Bunny, a ruthless and unhinged soldier who embodied the darkest side of war. Born Kevin Brady Dillon on August 19, 1965, in Mamaroneck, New York, he was 21 when he played the sadistic, grinning face of violence in Vietnam. His performance was raw, unsettling, and unforgettable. Now, in 2025, at 59 years old, his portrayal still lingers in the minds of audiences, a brutal reminder of how war strips away humanity, leaving only survival and cruelty in its wake. John C. McGinley, Sergeant O'Neill. John C. McGinley, known for his sharp, fast-talking delivery, brought a mix of desperation and dark humor to his role as Sergeant O'Neill in Platoon, 1986. At the time, he was 27, embodying a soldier trying to survive the chaos of war with a blend of cowardice and calculated self-preservation. Now, in 2025, at 65, McGinley's career spans decades of memorable roles, from intense dramas to sharp-witted comedies, solidifying his status as a versatile character actor. Reggie Johnson, Jr. Reggie Johnson, who played Jr. in Platoon, 1986, brought raw energy to the role of a weary, frustrated soldier caught in the brutal realities of Vietnam. Back then, he was a young actor stepping into a war film that felt all too real. Though his screen appearances were brief, they left a mark, particularly in the gritty worlds of The Principal, 1987, and V, 1984. Now, in 2025, decades later, his name still lingers among fans of 80s classics, a reminder of the intense performances that helped shape the era. His exact age remains less documented, but his work in Platoon keeps his legacy alive. Johnny Depp, Lerner. In Platoon, 1986, a 23-year-old Johnny Depp played Lerner, a small but memorable role in the chaos of Vietnam, long before he became a Hollywood icon. Back then, he was just another young actor finding his place, far from the larger-than-life characters that would later define him. Now, in 2025, at 61, Depp's career has been a wild ride, full of highs, controversies, and reinventions. But Platoon remains a glimpse of him before the fame, a reminder that even legends start somewhere. Corey Glover, Francis. In Platoon, 1986, Corey Glover took on the role of Francis, a young soldier caught in the brutal reality of war. At just 22, he delivered a performance that felt authentic, raw, and grounded, qualities that would also define his music career. While acting wasn't his main path, he became best known as the frontman of Living Colour, bringing powerful vocals to rock and funk. Now, in 2025, at 60, Glover's legacy spans both film and music, proving that talent can thrive across different worlds. Platoon remains a unique piece of his journey, a glimpse into his early artistic depth. Chris Peterson, Crawford. Chris Peterson, at 23, played Crawford in Platoon, 1986, bringing a natural, unpolished edge to the role, something he carried over from his work in punk-influenced films like Suburbia, 1983. His on-screen presence always felt real, capturing the restless energy of youth. But unlike many of his Platoon castmates, Peterson eventually stepped away from Hollywood, shifting gears into a quieter life. Now, in 2025, at 61, his film legacy remains tied to a raw, rebellious era, where his roles still resonate with those who remember the grit of 80s cinema. David Naydorf, Tex. David Naydorf, born David Arthur Naydorf on November 24, 1962, in Los Angeles, California, was 23 years old when he played Tex in Platoon, 1986. His performance, though brief, added to the film's raw, immersive portrayal of the Vietnam War. Now, in 2025, he is 62 years old. While Naydorf stepped away from the limelight after a string of solid performances in the 80s and early 90s, his role in Platoon remains a memorable part of his career, capturing the camaraderie and chaos of war through his youthful intensity. Richard Edson, Sal. Richard Edson, who portrayed Sal in Platoon, 1986, was born on January 1, 1954, in New Rochelle, New York, USA. Standing at 5 feet 11 inches, Edson was 32 years old when the film was released, bringing his signature offbeat charisma to the gritty Vietnam War drama. Known for his distinctive screen presence and prior work as the original drummer for Sonic Youth, he added a touch of realism to the film's ensemble cast. Now, in 2025, at 71 years old, Edson remains a respected character actor with a diverse career spanning film, television, and music. Tony Todd, Warren. Tony Todd, born Anthony Tyrone Todd on December 4, 1954, in Washington, D.C., stood an imposing 6'5", bringing both physical presence and depth to his role as Warren in Platoon, 1986. At 31 years old during the film's release, he was just beginning a career that would cement him as a horror icon, most famously as Candyman. Sadly, Todd passed away on November 6, 2024, at the age of 69 in Marina del Rey, California, after a long illness. Now, in 2025, his legacy endures, his commanding voice, unforgettable performances, and towering screen presence ensuring he remains a legend in cinema. That was an incredible journey through time. From the jungles of Platoon to today, these stars have truly left their mark in Hollywood. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing celebrity updates. See you in the next one.